Hey guys, welcome back. Joe here from 9 to 5ers, and we're going to be talking about something different. This is going to be a little bit more on the lines of saving you some money. This is going to be focused on household items. This is probably going to be a two-part video because I don't want to make it too long. And we're going to focus on saving money versus trying to have to go out and make more money. So the overview, why should we care about doing preventative maintenance in our houses? These are some of the items that we're going to be talking about here. And like I said, if you don't see it in this video, it'll be in the next video. And at the end of it, we're going to have, of course, some takeaways and some action items. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So why should you care about the, fixing stuff around your house? Well, I'll tell you a little story here. I had a vacuum that was really nice that I got for Christmas, and I had used it forever and ever and ever, and it just, the roller on it stopped working. So I'm like, what the heck am I supposed to do? So like most people, I get in that option of like, well, I can try to go find a place that can fix it, or I can go out and buy a new vacuum. I started looking at vacuums that were comparable, and they were like $150. I'm just like, ooh, that's kind of expensive. Let me go find somebody that can fix this. Maybe I can save some money. So I went out and I found a guy that basically all he does is just fix small appliances, and his stock room was packed with stuff. And I go, hey, my vacuum's not working. How much do you think it would cost to fix it? And he goes, well, I haven't looked at it yet, but around maybe $25-50, something like that. And I'm like, okay, great. So I come back and he gives me a call. And he says, hey, it's ready. So I come back to him and he's like, yeah. He goes, it's going to be $50. And this is what I had to do. I had to fix this, this, and this. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, is there anything I can do to, not have to, fix this or have to bring it out here or bring it out here less often? Like, I'm not trying to take away business from you, but what can I do to kind of prevent this? And he goes, well, just like all machines made by man, they are fallible and they will eventually break on you. So what you have to do is just basically get your instruction guide out and just follow the preventative maintenance for whatever you have, and just, clean out the rollers, do this, do that. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. And I was looking around the room before I left there, and there were vacuums that were new, kind of old, and then the ones that look like they're really old, like the ones from the 70s. And I'm like, oh, people have been getting their vacuums repaired since the 70s, and they still have these vacuums today. And I was like, wow. I was like, if you just repaired your vacuum for, say, $25-50 every 5 years, 10 years, like, you could save hundreds or even thousands of dollars with all of your appliances if you just did this. And I was like, that kind of got me thinking a little bit. So the drill when you go out and something's not working, like your washer or something in your house breaks down. It could be a refrigerator, or it could be a stove, or it could be whatever appliance. And you always have that point of, do I A, fix it myself, B, call somebody else in here to fix it for me, or do I just say screw it and go out and buy another one? And when you call somebody out, well, let's look at the first option, which is the learning curve of, do I know enough about refrigerators to go in there and fix this and like look it up on the internet and try to do this and spend like hours and hours and hours trying to figure out how to fix a refrigerator? Most people are not going to do that. But so the second option is to call the repair guy, and the repair guy is going to come out and he's go, well, it's going to replace this wire and it's going to be $60. Now, the wire that he needs to buy to fix this is probably like $5 or maybe $10 the most. Maybe it's $2. Who knows? But it's the time of him going out there, ordering the part, doing the labor. And it's just like, man, it's so much money when you add it all up, just to replace something that is so minor. But unfortunately, the alternative is to go out and buy a brand new refrigerator when you really don't need one. And $60 is on the cheaper end, which we all know that it can get more expensive as you go. So ask yourself, where are your dollars really going? Are your dollars going to fix something, or is it going to a vacation? And that's kind of our mentality when we go to work all the time, we're saying to yourself, oh, what are you saving up for? Oh, I'm saving up for a new car, or I'm saving up for a new house, or I'm saving up for a trip, a vacation. Nobody ever comes to work and says, where's your money going? What are you saving up for? Like, oh, I'm saving up for a new washer and dryer because I don't take care of the one that I have in my house. But that's really what we're doing. And that's kind of like bananas when you put it that way. But appliances can last a long time if you maintain them properly and just kind of take care of them in-house. And that's kind of what the purpose of my creating this video is for. So ask yourself, where are your dollars really going, and where do you really want them to go? And you really want them to go to, vacation, college fund, new car, whatever. And also, I like to add in here that some of your appliances, when they're not working properly, could be a fire hazard or an electrical hazard. A dishwasher, a stove, some sort of HVAC unit, if it doesn't work properly, it could potentially catch fire and burn down your house, especially with the dryers and the lint traps. So without further ado, that's enough stories. Let's just go ahead and get started. So let's look at the first three things here. And this is going to be our vacuum, broom, and dehumidifier. So you're probably thinking to yourself, what the heck? So in my vacuum story, we might as well start with that. Super glue any broken parts or cracks that you're seeing on the vacuum itself. If somebody's kind of ramming the vacuum against the wall, fix those first so that can stay in good condition. The actual casing of itself can stay in good condition as long as it possibly can. And then clean out the hair or the string that's in the roller bar, the actual thing that spins around, because if you don't do that, then it's going to create friction and grime and dirt buildup, and eventually it's just going to burn out the motor or whatever. You have to buy a new vacuum. And just before I go any further in this, what I'm telling you to do here is, or what I'm kind of talking about here is something that you need to do in a very generic level. Whatever your instruction manual says to do, then do it that way. But this is going to be at a high level type of situation. And if you can't find your instruction manual, look it up on the internet. They're everywhere. So you have to remove that safety bar there first on the roller to get that all the hair and dirt and grime out of there. And that can make your vacuum last way longer, and you don't have to get it fixed as often. So your broom, this is a simple one. Just cut all the loose, crazy bristles that were going all over the place on it, and you can make a broom last a lot longer, and it's going to look nicer, and it's going to sweep more efficiently. This is a super cheap fix. Just need a pair of scissors with that. And then super glue the parts of the dustpan if it's made of plastic or something, that you can continue to use the dustpan on a longer period of time. Just remember, like, you might think of yourself like, well, a dustpan, I can go out and get one of those for $2. Like, yeah, $2, but you're also going to get something that's actually worth $2, which is a piece of junk. And you could have just saved money and just did super glue and fixed the one you had then and there. And that money does add up. And also, when you have your broom, make sure it sits on the top part where your hands would be, and not on the bristles, because that's what damages the bristles in the long run. Dehumidifier, just clean and clean the filter only. That's the really only thing you have to really focus on with that, unless your maintenance manual says something else. And at the bottom of each one of these slides here, I'm going to be telling you kind of when you should, like the ballpark of when you should be doing this. And this should be done in the spring, summer, or the fall, or excuse me, should at all three times, not or, but and. Stove. Clean with baking soda, Ajax, and white vinegar and scrubber, and you're going to realize here really quickly that you are going to need white vinegar for a lot of this stuff. And all these items that you're going to be cleaning or using are really super cheap. So burners, remove the burners and clean them, and this is if you have an electric stove. And then the metal guards or that catch basin there, you'll want to like clean those and then wrap them in foil. And that makes up for easy cleanup later on the next time that you have to clean it yourself. And then kind of just clean the grime off of the electric connectors that are on the that the stove top plugs into there, and make sure the stove is, of course, unplugged before you do all of this. Stovetop, that's that thing that actually your stovetop actually lifts up. There's a bunch of dirt and just crumbs down in there and burn up food. Just clean that out too. And then interior, clean that as directed. Each stove is going to be different. Some have a self-cleaning oven, and some of them actually are set up to where you can you have to spray the stuff in there and of course ventilate the area. So spring, summer, fall, or before people come to your house and judge you. Dishwasher. Dishwasher cleaning is going to be your 1 cup of plain white vinegar. You just dump that in the bottom and you run it on the longest and hottest setting. What you're doing is in there is trying to get any sort of minerals that might be built up in the dishwasher, or any sort of just like watery mess food residue that's in there stinking up the dishwasher. And then after that, you're going to use after you run that entire cycle, then you would run it with 1 cup of baking soda and do the same exact process, longest, hottest cycle. And then the rubber seals, as you're in between cleanings, you just take a toothbrush really quickly and just go around there and just clean them. And then if you find any damaged ones, just fix the seal there with, I think you could probably fix those with glue. But every spring, summer, and fall, just keep up with that type of stuff. Coffee pot and Keurig. This is a simple one. You're looking at the mineral buildups. Some of those, they have these descaling pods that you can go out and buy. They're kind of like the pre-mixed solution. Or you can just take white vinegar and run it through its cycle a couple times, and it'll actually make your coffee taste a lot better. PC cleaning. The supplies you're going to need for this one are Q-tips, rubbing alcohol, canned air, and distilled water. And if you're going through this at any point in time, and there are a couple things here down the road that are a little bit tougher to fix and clean, if you can't do it, then call a repairman and just have them do a yearly maintenance check or maintenance cleaning on something that is above your skill level, or something that you just don't want to do, or you just don't feel comfortable doing. And this could be in the computer realm, because you're going to want to turn everything off and remove the tower cover, like the little screws there, and then Q-tip rubbing alcohol on all the easy to reach areas. Now stay away from the electronics, but you're looking at like the plastic areas that don't have any sort of electricity going to and from them. And you're going to use canned air to get into the hard to reach places, but you're trying to get the dust out of there. But don't touch anything in there that's like the electronic parts of it with water or alcohol or anything, because you could potentially damage it. And that is really important. So clean all the fans with a damp cloth, and just be very, very gentle when you're doing this, because PCs are pretty delicate. And then the keyboard, just do the upside down shake test, kind of maybe bang it on the desk if you need to, and use canned air to get all the crumbs and stuff that somehow get in there. And do that every spring, summer, and fall. Your washer, cleaning it. Well, what do? Well, you sprinkle 2 cups of baking soda in there and run the washing machine on the hottest and longest cycle. You might start to see a trend here with the hottest and longest cycles. 2 cups of white vinegar. After that first cycle is done with the baking soda, then you throw in some white vinegar on the hottest and longest cycle. You're getting all of just the gunk that's built up and letting it actually, the lines get cleaned out from all the minerals that have been built up in there. And clean the dispenser tray with white vinegar. That's your liquid detergent dispenser that you would have there if it has one. And then also, some washers do have filters, and if there is one, you have to check your manual, then just clean that out as well. Dryer. Well, you got to unplug it first, because there's a lot of electricity going to that thing. And then clean out the back exhaust. That would be where all of the dust and junk, that silvery aluminum foil looking tube thing that goes out to the outside, remove that, clean everything out in there, because things can get caught in there. It's not a perfect process. Get in there, clean everything out, and then remove the back panel and clean out the dryer. The dryer actually, there's a lot of open space in there. You wouldn't realize it. And if there's any leaks or cracks in the dishwasher made by the manufacturer, or just over time use, the dust is going to get in there and it's going to clog up and kind of stick to the wires and the electronics. And what you want to do in there is just go in there with like a rag or a shop vac, and just, don't damage the wires or anything, but, just kind of get all of the dust out of there. And that's going to help it run more efficiently. It's going to make it last a lot longer. And it's also going to cut down on the potential for a fire hazard, which is not good. And then the lint trap holder. So you're supposed to clean out the lint trap every time you use the dryer, but there is a lint trap holder which is connected in there by screws, or maybe it's kind of like a plastic clip or something. If you pull that out, the thing that actually holds the lint dryer filter, then there's actually going to be a lot of lint in there. And I was surprised when I pulled out mine. I was like, holy moly, there's like a whole sweater in here. And that, you know, of course, for safety issues, cleanliness issues, and just efficiency issues as well. And then secure the exhaust back to the exterior after you clean it all out, plug it back in, and just do that every spring, summer, and fall. You know, no specific date or time, just those 3 basic times. Water heater. And before we get into the water heater, guys, I'm probably gonna cut the video here, because this is one that you're gonna want to really focus on, and you're going to want to hire a professional, maybe, if you are not you don't feel comfortable doing this, because if you don't do this properly, you basically just ruined your water heater. So we will cut the video here, and then we will come back with part 2, and we will jump right into it. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one. We're here to make you smarter today and richer tomorrow. Check us out on Facebook, 9 to 5ers, and also please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Have a good one.